Parker Waldrop hasn't been in Toastmasters as long as most, but he's making the most out of every opportunity he has been given. As Area 65 Director, he believes our focus as clubs shouldn't be in the short-term benefits of our members, but the life-changing impact Toastmasters can make when we dedicate ourselves. Today we will hear how one change in our perspective can make all the world with his speech, Mentors Above and Beyond. Parker Waldrop.
I was worried the infectious Heine slapping was going to come to me too. Thank you very much for not sending that my way. All right. Who is it?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg. Anybody know who his mentor was? Who's that?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg's mentor. Anybody know who that is? Not a soul. That is Steve Jobs' mentor, Bob Friedland. Bill Gates. Anybody know who his mentor was? Warren Buffett. You want to make billions? Learn from the billionaires. Warren Buffett's mentor. Anybody?
Is that a Rothschild?
Nope. Benjamin Graham. As I was looking up these famous mentors and who their mentors were and who their mentors were, something occurred to me. At some point in the chain, you forget who these people were. Bob Friedland and Benjamin Graham never made headlines for really anything impactful for long term like Warren Buffett or Bill Gates or Steve Jobs. But everyone had a mentor. Everyone needs a mentor. And everyone, including you, is able to mentor someone else. Funny thing about being a mentor, at least in the way I perceive it as Toastmasters presents it to us, is it's a short-term thing. But looking at these relationships that these guys had with their mentors, these were lifelong friendships. I mean, these guys had lunch all the time with each other. And I think that's one thing that we kind of miss in Toastmasters, because we go through the mentoring book and it says it shouldn't last forever. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. Because if you truly are mentoring somebody, your relationship will last forever. And at some point, the mentee is able to start contributing and mentoring the mentor. It's a funny relationship when you look at it from that perspective. And I've certainly had my fair share of mentors. You never really know they're mentors until you look back at your life and you're like, oh my gosh, what an impact these people had. A few short stories from my past. When I was 16, I started working at Sonic. I had a boss who I thought hated my guts. She yelled at me, she screamed at me, she said, why are you going so slow? I was a rollerblader and a hockey player. I wasn't slow. I was by far the fastest person out there car hopping, delivering stuff, but I was slow. I was not fast enough. Little while longer, further down my life, discovered Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I wanted to become a guitar player. And I found a great mentor in someone who could show me how to play a guitar. I could play Stevie Ray Vaughan songs, but not like Stevie Ray Vaughan, okay? I'm not that great. Then a 20-something kid, I went to a new church. I was a guitar player. Someone asked me out to lunch. He said, hey, I want to take you out to lunch. I had no idea who this guy was. I said, sure, I'm new around here. I'll go to lunch with you. Turned out he was the worship pastor of the church that I started attending, and he wanted me to become part of his band. Learned a great deal from that man. And then, as a new husband and a new father, I had no idea how to do the husband and father thing until I met a guy out of North Carolina. Met him once in my life, but I talked to him almost daily. And he's showing me how to do the husband and father thing the right way, the Christian way. And then the new Toastmaster, who wants to become a professional public speaker. And I found out there's a little bit more than Toastmasters and public speaking. That's me. The next guy I'm going to show you, this picture might scare you a little, but he's slowly becoming a mentor in my life. He didn't start out that way when I joined Toastmasters, but he's definitely getting there.
He's pretty.
The next man made a huge impact in my Toastmasters career so far, and I know he's been a huge impact in my mentor's mentor, is his life as a Toastmaster. Elvis was a Toastmaster. We all have our why. We all do things. We want to become a great guitar player. We want to become a paid public speaker. Whatever your why is. Your why is great. Do you know how to get there? You need a mentor. Now I remember Tracy's email going out and saying, we've all mentored somebody. If you've mentored somebody, please raise your hand. We've all mentored somebody somewhere along the path. And it's not necessarily about the skills that you use as you mentor them, but what kind of relationship you had with them. The point of a mentor is not to say, that's your goal, or telling them what their goal is specifically. You don't want to do that because they are still an individual who has their own ideas. You want to tell them, what is your goal? Here's how you can do it. Here are the steps you can take. Here's what I've learned from my past experiences. Needed wise counsel throughout my life to guide me and get me where I am today. And I would not be able to do it if it hadn't been for each one of those people. The lady who I started working with in Sonic, I swear I thought I hated her, she hated me. Now, if I see her, she's a nurse now. Now, if I see her going through Walmart or anything like that, it's instantaneous. There's no hesitation for me, and most of you know me, this is weird. I will give her a hug. And no problem, and we love each other. It's such a great relationship we had. But what's the effect of having a mentor or being mentored? Where would you be without someone to learn from? Proverbs 1:5 says, a wise man will hear and increase in learning, and a man of understanding will acquire wise counsel. Where would I be if I never learned what hard work and having that ethic meant? Just from this lady screaming at me at Sonic. Because she taught me, I'm fast, I might be the fastest, but I'm not fast enough. I had my guitar teacher, David Brandon. Some of you may know him. He works for Texas Tech as a guitar instructor, and he owns his own guitar studio. He straight out told me, you are not going to be Stevie Ray Vaughan. But I want to be Stevie Ray Vaughan. I want to learn it. Be Parker Waldrop. Learn how to play guitar like Parker Waldrop. I can teach you how to play his songs, but you're going to play them your way. Where would I be in Toastmasters if I hadn't have found Tracy Thompson? I wouldn't be here at the Pro Club for sure. Probably. As soon as you get that CC, you get this pretty glittery little invitation from Taryn, and it's just magnetic. So maybe I would be here, but I don't think I'd be here without ever finding Tracy Thomason, because he encouraged me to join Pro Club before I was eligible. Matt, are my experiences much different than yours?
Yeah, a little bit.
They are little, right? But did you have experiences in your life where you learned from people?
Many times.
Tracy, we just heard your story. My experiences were, well, a lot like and unlike yours. I had a coach who loved to scream, couldn't get my name right. Called me Waltrip because he was a NASCAR fan instead of a basketball fan. Where would I be without those guys? Matt, where would you be without Cletus Tatum, Franklin Baggerman?
Not here.
Tracy, where would you be without Bob Barnhill? Or Charlie? Or
Not
Mr.
here.
Miyagi?
Mr. Miyagi.
Not here.
We've all had those life-changing experiences. We have. It's a matter of whether or not we look back and see a mentor or somebody who just screamed at us.
Mm.
One thing I've learned from John Maxwell is it doesn't matter whether he agrees with their faith, their ethics, their integrity. He can find something to learn from just about everybody. I'm going through the 21 irrefutable laws right now, and he mentions people. I'm like, why would you mention Hitler? Because Hitler was a great leader. His moral compass was completely broken, but he was a great leader. Okay, he did things that no other people have ever been able to do. I want to challenge you. As Toastmasters, we pull out the little maroon book. We have mentor a new member or mentor a normal member. An older member, not a normal member. There are no normal ones. There are no normal Toastmasters, that's right. Don't look at that as a checkbox. Take it away as an opportunity to build and cultivate a relationship. If it says mentor somebody, find someone, you don't even have to like them. Just start coaching them. Say, hey, I know you're in Toastmasters. Do you want to do this? Great. Let me show you how I've done it. And as you progress, you might end up liking the guy or the girl. You might like those people. I mean, after all, you have a commonality, right? You're both Toastmasters. Don't view it as a checkbox.
Mhm.
Bob Friedland and Benjamin Graham, Charlie, those guys mentored some of the most successful people we know. Nobody knows Charlie, everybody knows Tracy Thomason. In computers, nobody knows Bob Friedland or Benjamin Graham, but everybody knows Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg. Never know who you're mentoring. So you might be mentoring the next Steve Jobs or the next Warren Buffett. And if you are, congratulations, because you're going to build a relationship with a billionaire. We are the Lubbock Professionals Club. And Toastmasters everywhere look to us for guidance and how we do things as an example. We can't forget that we're not just leaving a lasting impression on those we mentor, but we can't stop being mentored either. Because if you stop growing, you start dying. So I'm going to leave you with two questions this morning that you can ponder over as you think about mentoring. Are you mentoring to check a box? And who cares about the relationship that you could have gotten from that? And are you done learning and growing? Or are you ready to find the next great mentor in your life? The next great Cletus Tatum. The next great Tracy, Cliff, Kim, John. You guys can be great mentors. And you'll be remembered by the successes that you leave in your legacy.